All right, next up, we're going to start to actually populate this wall section. So you'll find that it's kind of similar to what we did with the building section, except it gets more, more detailed. So we're going to rely upon my knowledge of construction, and I'm not that great at wood frame construction, but I'll do my best. So basically, everything you do in the wall section happens as a layer over top of the actual built model. Okay, and I want to preface this by saying this isn't the only way to do it. I've seen firms do it a few different ways, and we can talk about those methods probably offline. But I'll just show you kind of like my way of doing it, and in my experience, this is the most common way of doing it. So you have these live model elements. These are the actual walls and ceilings and roof elements or floor elements of the project. We are responsible for making sure that whatever is communicated here matches whatever has to happen in the detail level. And then when you go to the detail level, it becomes a little bit more, I guess, flushed out, and you get to see everything. You're basically increasing the scale of the drawing to where you can see how it actually goes together. Okay, so that's the point of your building section, then wall section, then detail. All right, so right off the bat, we notice that we don't really have a ground plane, but that's super easy because we already built that out in the building section. So when I go to one of my building sections, I can just pull something in super fast. So something like this and something like that, copy that, and I'm going to go over here and just kind of paste it in. Now, at this stage, you do need to be careful about some level of detail because I have a slab and I have grade, and I need to know where the slab goes relative to my wall. So a lot of exterior assemblies will actually have the slab go up to the edge of the stud, and then that exterior wall layer will extend down, okay, and kind of cover things. And usually you need to have 8 inches between the two, but we're not getting down into that level of detail right now. Okay, I just want you to get close to something that's accurate. Okay, generally speaking, the wall itself doesn't need to be modified, but you do need to show some more detail about what goes in the wall. So we have these things called sill plates in a stud wall. So when you go to the Annotate tab, this is where you're going to find all of your 2D elements that you're going to use in views that you have that are of the wall section scale and greater, meaning wall sections, enlarged wall sections and details and stuff like that. Everything from that point on happens in 2D. So this thing right here, you can draw lines, you can draw regions, which are just hatches, or you can draw components. Components are pre-made families of the 2-dimensional variety. So when you click on component, you can open up and see, oh, we don't really have very many installed. That's a bummer. But we've got some bricks and a wide flange. Okay, if we had a wide flange, we would just drop that thing in, and it would look like that. Okay, does that make sense? It's just a 2-dimensional wide flange. It doesn't exist anywhere in the model. So we've got to load a new component. I'm going to go to structural framing. I'm going to go to wood. And we can use dimensional lumber. Dimensional lumber is going to be like your typical, 2x4, 2x6s, 2x8s, that kind of stuff. 4x4s, everything like that. So click on dimensional lumber and hit OK. I'm going to put in my typical 2x4, 2x6, 2x8, a 2x12 and 14, maybe a 4x4, 4x6. That probably should do it. So I'll hit OK. So that preloaded all of those for me, and now I can kind of just have at it and start populating the stud framing. I don't know why it's loading more. Did it actually load them? It didn't. Hang on. I don't know why it didn't load those.